Again, the recurring refrain of this subject, tircha, malacha, balance, will give us the mutter or the asr. That's the subject that we're doing over here. Okay, asr lahashas letzerech harisha.
Where are we?
You don't remember?
No.
You don't have markers? No. I want you to know that I prepared this for this shir without these markers. But it's still nice. Anyways, Tav Kuf Lamed Zayin Sif Tes. Thank you very much, whoever gave these markers. No Helen Keller jokes, please. Anyways, you can't flatten out the ground in order to make harisha. But if it looks like in order to do disha, you also need to have flat ground. So if it's evident that what you're doing is not for your preparing for the next crop, but rather in order to do dash with Chol Hamoed, then it's permissible. Okay, says the Mishnah Berurah. I have no understanding of this Mishnah Berurah. The halacha was much clearer to me from the Mechaber than it is from the Mishnah Berurah, and I'll just share with my original understanding, and the reason why the Mishnah Berurah didn't understand it that way, I also understand, but I don't understand his answer. It says, has to be nicker that you're doing it for dash purposes and not for harisha purposes. How would that be nicker? So the Mechaber answers the question. He says, Kigon shemash v'kuloi, then it's mutter. Well, you're mash v'kuloi, so then it's apparent that you're doing it to be dash. If you would have asked me, I would have thought the other way around. When you're dash, you just do it in one place. Why would you dash though? Like I don't get it. I don't get it. But again, I'm not a farmer. As Yis knows from my Sunday night share, I'm not a farmer. You're not much better, right? But
I agree.
No, I'm saying I don't get it, but I understand the concept. That's being said. So for some reason, if you do kulai, so then it's apparent that's for dash purposes. So now says the Mishnah Berurah that's coming to explain that. That's the problem. The Mishnah Berurah explains that. Why? Sheyesh tzarech karka shoveh ladush milachrosh. It's more important to have flat ground to be dash than to be chayrish. We are discussing quantity, not quality. And he gives a reason in quality, not quantity. I don't get how he's addressing the issue. What? Actually, the bottom line is that you have to have some kind of a way at Simon that it's that what you're doing.
What's the difference between dush and lachrosh?
Dush is you step on the kernels and you break the hulls so that afterwards you can throw it up in the air and have them be winnowed. That's dush. Okay? And lachrosh is to plow.
Now, big difference. There's a very big difference.
Now, what's fascinating, I just want to share with you something. I just gave a share in Hilchos Dash this week, so I'm very sharp in Hilchos Shabbos and Hilchos Dash. Not very, but the Rambam says a person who's mashve pnei akarka, miyape the karka, is chayiv mishum dash. Making your ground look nice is dash. Is chayrish, excuse me. It's chayrish. Chayrish is any kind of topographical improvement to the ground that has nothing to do with building. Is included in dash. And this needs to be explained, but we're not learning chayrish right now. But this is what he says. If you're being miyape, the karka, in other words, I want to make it clear. From my understanding of planting, the reason why one is chayrish is because he aerates the dirt, he turns it over, and you get different parts to use their nutrition, and you give the wildlife ability to die, and the the vegetation, the ability to die, the grasses that are no good, etc., and the wildlife to thrive. It has nothing to do with flattening out land. In fact, if you would ask me to steamroll land, I would say that that's a negative, not a positive. But in halacha, that's not true.
In your house, though, you want it flat, right?
That's what you're buying now. Right. Okay. Anyways, but it does, from my point of view, it doesn't really make much of a difference because the point of the halacha is clear. It has to be apparent, and that's the end. Okay. For Rishonos Filu Lehepach, there's some that say the other way around. Okay, Tarvayu Asiri, because we're not sure which way is better, which way is worse. Okay. And you should not do it on any circumstance. Okay. Yud Aleph. Also lekatzes anfea ilon lesakno. From the most enjoyable mashalim in Hilchos Shabbos is the halacha which we're about to learn. A person could cut off a branch of a tree and be chayiv for pruning, which is a tolda of Zareya. A person could cut off a branch of a tree and be chayiv for kaitzer. A person can cut off a branch of a tree for both and be chayiv 2 chatases. And a person can cut off the branch of a tree because he's bored and be potter. Okay? All of them exist. Nothing like Judaism. Pluralistic religion. Right? Okay, all the things exist. So now, a person is on Chol Hamoed, he is going to cut off branches from the trees. There are reasons that it should be mutter, and there are reasons that it should be usher. No, excuse me, that wasn't said right. There are reasons of doing it that would allow it to be done, and there are reasons of doing it that would forbid it to be done, even though you're doing the same thing. Right? So, should it bother us?
Not really.
Okay. Now, let's see what the halacha is. Also, lekatzes anfea ilon lesaknoi. It's forbidden to do it for the wrong reason. Lesaknoi means you're doing it in order to make it better. That's a zareya issue. You're doing it to make it better, and that's also.
What are you making better? The tree.
The tree.
Okay.
Right? You're not allowed to do that. V'nikar shemachavim b'shvil ha'anofin la'achil behemtoi. And if it's apparent that you're doing it in order to get food, you're not doing the zareya, you're doing the kaitzer. V'lo lesaknoi, you're not doing it in order to make the tree better. Kagon shekoses kulam mitzad echad. You pruned it all on one side of the tree, so it's not. That's not like
Just chopping off branches.
I don't know.
Pruning is you're picking the. Is you
I
picking
didn't. No, that's not what we said. That's an act of destruction.
Which,
What you just said is destruction.
but that will make it nicker. That I'm.
That's not what he says. You could write your own Shulchan Aruch. But the Shulchan Aruch that I have says that if you do it on one side, so that it's apparent that you're doing it not with any consideration for the tree. It doesn't mean that you're damaging the tree.
You're allowed to do this. Take the dead ones, if you will, and prune the tree on
You know
one
what?
side.
You know what?
Actually,
I ask you to feast your eyes on the Mechaber and Shulchan Aruch. Okay? If nikar shemachavim b'shila ila la'anofim la'achila behemtoi v'lo l'sakot shekoitzet kula mitzad echad.
Okay. But it's nicker the little section. It doesn't mean that
Why?
you can't
Because
do
you did it on one side, and if you were trying to make the tree better, you would do it that be even. It would be like this, right? So it's clear you're doing it because you don't have the tree in mind. Then it's mutter to be done.
even though you're picking out specific ones.
It didn't say that. That already is your question.
I'm asking.
It doesn't say. It doesn't say. It doesn't say.
So then why was the roof so against my saying chopping off?
Because there you're destroying. I'm not talking about destroying. It's not the same thing.
Okay, and then picking out certain ones is a
I don't know. It didn't say. Okay. So this
Would you be allowed
is...
to do that if you want to use the word for firewood?
Do you have other firewood?
No, that's why I'm doing it.
Then it's okay.
It'll be okay.
That'll be okay. Now, I would like to share with you a principle, which is from the Zalman, says over here. It's said in a few other places. I'll start with the Gemara in Menachos. A person is drowning in the water, and somebody wants to save him. It's on Shabbos, so he gets a net to catch the guy, and he sees this beautiful fish there. So he says, while I'm at it. So are you allowed to do that?
If he's doing it together in order to be able to catch the guy, and by chance he got the fish good. If all of a sudden he has the urge to no, then for sure not.
Even though he's doing the same thing?
He's doing the same thing, but he's saving the person because that was the other way. He's doing it for his own personal.
Since my minhag is to argue with you,
Yeah.
so I would like to share with you the following opinion of mine. The person has an urge to catch the fish, and he's going to Chol Shabbos, and then the Eibishter is merachim on him and throws somebody in, so that now he can chaparine and save somebody's life while he's at it. It's also mutter.
Mutter?
What? Mutter.
Mitzvah, maybe even.
Yeah. Avad it's a mitzvah. Okay? We found the heter. We have found the heter to be Chol Shabbos. Now what's going on? What's the subject? What's the subject? I have two kavanas in mind. Do they have to contradict each other?
What does that mean? That's the contradiction.
Your wife makes you your favorite supper, and she happens to like it also. Can she say, yes, I made it for you because I love you? Or that's a lie?
No.
Not that she loves you is a lie. That wasn't the question. Right?
No, she's still doing it. If she gets an offer from it, so it's an added thing for her. But if she has in mind and doing it for me, then she has that.
And let's say she woke up this morning. She woke up this morning. Says, I'd love to have that dish. Says, it's good because he likes that too.
Either way, I think.
Either way, who is the catalyst and who is the byproduct?
Depends on the.
I'm not trying to get involved in your show bias over here. Okay,
Depends on the guest.
Okay.
The good guest says they did it all for me. The bad guest says he did it. I'm just here for the show.
Yeah, but what's the truth?
Everybody gains from that from that thought. Everybody gains.
You're supposed to pick the right attitude,
Right?
Right.
Who cares?
It cares, but why choose to make it matter?
I'm not sure I understand who cares. But let's go to right now. We have one act that if I catch the fish in the guy, I'm Chol Shabbos. And a different act doing the exact same thing, I'm doing a mitzvah pikuach nefesh. Do I say who cares?
No, but
Why?
No,
It's the exact same thing.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Do you have different cases?
It's catching the fish is an agavorcha. Would you want that?
Did you
the fish?
see-
Sure, you want the fish.
Did you see that fish that I'm catching?
No, I didn't.
That's not agavorcha. That was a special fish.
It's a very big deal, special fish, but
It's award-winning.
his kavana was to do the right thing.
No, I told you he wanted to catch the fish, and then the Eibishter was merachim on him and threw in the guy.
Even him, Hashem.
Officially, I would say it's no good. I think it's still awesome.
Okay, so I'm telling you, I know that's what you said before. You're consistent.
I was consistent.
Okay, and I say that it's mutter.
Wow.
And all of that, the Gemara says that it's mutter. Because the Maisa, you did what the Torah told you to do. I didn't do anything wrong.
You had the wrong machshava in the beginning.
Yeah.
You wanted to catch a fish on Shabbos.
Exactly.
You wanted to do an avera. That's not supposed to be.
We don't get punished for
We
machshava.
punished. We didn't talk about punishment. We talked about the right thing and the wrong thing.
Oh,
There was a wrong thing to have that machshava on Shabbos. I want to be machal.
It's true. It's true. But the act that I'm doing I'm right now quoting right now Tshuva Nigus Moshe. The act they're doing is 100% sanctioned. And if I would go to the Rav and say, what should I do? Should I catch the guy or not? So then that's it. That's the end. That's the end. So now, says Rav Zalman, I have to get food for my animal. And boy, am I happy that half of my work for next week is going to be done today. I'm going to do it in a way that it's nicker.
That's not.
That I'm doing it for the animal. But in my mind, my sinister mind, I'm thinking about the fact that I am einsparen. I am saving myself precious work hours, and I'm doing this on my vacation time called Chol Hamoed. Is that mutter or aser?
The Rav was pointing out that the Shulchan Aruch didn't say that you.
Yeah, but didn't say either way.
Right.
Yeah, so
It's kosher. Kilu, we don't find any necessary.
It seems like Chol Hamoed is more
I would say
Shabbos
Shabbos.
in this.
who pays you salary? That's what I want to know. Okay, so Shlomo Zalman compares it to the halacha we said, and he says that it's mutter. Okay, so even though the looks are deceiving here, because the looks make it look like you're only doing it for one reason, you're really doing it for two reasons, that's also okay.
Is that haguk? Kilu? You're doing it for the look.
No, why do I have to have it? What's the point in the look? What's the point of the look? Really, it's mutter. So I have to have it look good,
Because we don't want chofshiyut.
So it shouldn't look like usher.
right? It's like I'll use the word. It's like a chil Hashem. It looks like a chil yontif. So you do it in a way that it's clear that it's mutter. So then you're
Keeping the boundaries.
you're in sync with the halacha. So even though normally, even if you didn't have it look like that, someone have to be the baditchever to say, wow, why are you doing that? And say, oh no, it must be he's a tzaddik, he knew the halacha and he's doing it for his animals. So we don't want that to happen. So he said you have to do it in a way that makes it obvious. But be'etzem, it's mutter because it's mutter. But there's an aspect that you have to make sure that there shouldn't be a chil yontif aspect to it. And that exists. And the fact that you happen to be benefiting from it, that's also okay. It's not such a big chiddush as it sounds. All right.
If you went around the tree 4 days of Chol Hamoed, 1/4.
Hungry animal.
I have one question for you. Is that the way people do it?
I would assume not.
No,
So then
people
it's
do.
okay.
If you have taken an animal and you have a pruning job, it's a good shech.
No. He wants to know that if you look at the overall picture, you see that the guy did.
At the end of 4 days, he did a perfect pruning, but each day he only did like a quarter, which is very odd.
Also, I'm saying if everyone does that all the time,
If
then
that's a way of doing it,
that's a problem.
Yeah. I don't think that's the way of doing it. It's pretty weird.
Right.
Pretty weird guy, right? So I think there'll be a Beseder. All right. Let's continue on our quest over here.
So say the Shema.
Now the Mishnah Berurah says it explicitly, La Medalid, Kol HaDvarim HaElu K'yetzu V'hem Tarti B'inan, Sheyeh Kavanah Leheter, U'ma'asav Yihu Muchrochim V'nikorim Shel Das Tzorech Heter Hu Oiseh K'mo Shekasavnu. Avol Im Kavanah Le'iser, Avol B'shama'asav Muchrochim Shel Tzorech Heter Hu Oiseh, V'chein Kavanah Le'inyan Heter V'ein Ma'asav Muchrochim Lo B'aseh. So you have to have a vadai.
Your case?
No, is none of those.
It's similar to it.
No, similar to it. Read it again.
I did.
No, you read it once.
Sheyeh Kavanah Leheter.
And it is.
It's not. Your case is not.
Did your wife make the food for you or
I'm
not?
not talking about that.
I am.
I'm talking about the one with the net.
No.
No. The Kavanah was Easter, according to that.
Well, Kavanah was also a hatter.
Yeah, but
It didn't say the apuke. It says you have to have Positive kavanah. I'm doing a heter. I'm doing the zmira for my animal. I'm getting okay.
The only heter he had was that he was going to save the guy. So you could look at the guy. Maybe people didn't know the fact that he wanted that, but in his mind he said, "I want that fish." Other people look at it.
He also wanted to save the person, right?
I hope so.
We hope so.
Yeah, but what came first?
The egg.
No.
What's the difference? Which came first?
What came first is the.
I want to tell you something.
It
Yes.
definitely came first.
Now you were sorry to yourself.
Yeah.
Your wife woke up in the morning. What did I tell you? She says, I really love that dish for supper. And it's good because this likes that too.
She's doing it for herself, really. But then.
Now, what did you say before? It doesn't make a difference. It's always about me. That's what you said. Right?
He
I
said
can
it's always
take
about
that.
her. She always thinks of this. So that's
Right? No, but you understand? So the Maisa, it's for that reason too. It's not having two reasons. I just want to share something with you. All of us are here learning right now. Why are we here learning? So if I'll ask you, because it's a mitzvah to learn. You're here because you told your wife you got to learn, and you don't want her to say, how come you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing? You're here because Rabbi Zachariash is going to see you next time and say, why weren't you here last week? You're here because you want schar elam haba. You're here because you enjoy leaving the shir. There's many reasons to be here, right? And they're all true. All those reasons could be true, right?
Yeah, but none of those are usher.
1 second.
They're all positive.
1 second, listen. And then I ask, yes, why do you come to the shir? Are you a chatzi liar?
I don't know.
1/7, I think it was.
Because there are other reasons, that doesn't diminish the fact that.
So when I asked you why you're here, why are you withholding information?
Because that's the Iker one. That's the reason why
That's
he's
the one
here.
that's not necessarily, that's the one you're proud of. The could be that's not the Iker one. The Iker one is because of social reasons, right? There could be many reasons, right, that you're here. Right?
Yeah.
But that's fine, right? That's fine. I mean, it's not going to get involved in this.
But again, in all those cases, it's all like mutter. It's all heter. It's all good. It's all positive. In the case with the net, there's one negative, and that negative can overpower even the positive.
Okay. I'm going to ask you.
Even though good came out of it. Okay.
What?
Even if good came out of it.
I'm asking you right now a question. If the person wants to save the fish more than he wants to save that person, is it mutter or is it also?
I would still say it's usher.
Okay. Now I will share with you what the Igros Moshe says. This is a fascinating question, and this is a very big chiddush, extremely big chiddush. And if you want to know why you came here tonight, you didn't know it, but was to hear the Igros Moshe. From the famous Gemaras is Ezel Chasid Shoteh. Who's a Chasid Shoteh? Chasid Shoteh is a guy who sees a lady drowning, and he says, I'm a Chasid, could be, if I save her, I'll have Hana. Let her drop dead. Right? So he's a Chasid Shoteh. Why is he Chasid Shoteh? To have Hana from a Rayas is an Issa Deraisa Yahar Gval Yavor. He's not a Chasid Shoteh. You're a Shoteh. What he's doing is 100% right. No? No? It doesn't override.
That's not nice. That's not nice.
Yeah, Abizrai Deraisa Yahar Gval Yavor, according to many Achronim.
He harmed himself, but not someone else.
He's no way he cannot do it. He will be over on Arias if he does. I just to blow your brains. Just to blow your brains. There are some Achronim, Baruch Hashem, I would say that we don't paskin like it. A lady who has to go to the hospital from Beit Shemesh, and the only way to go is with Yichud. According to some, she has to drop dead and not go to the hospital.
Ooh.
That's right.
That is harsh.
That's not me. This is in print for years and years, like hundreds. If Yichud is called Abizraya Darayas, so it's Yahar Gal Yavar.
This is not
What?
He's touching a lady while he's saving her and treading water, and she's treading water, and they're all.
Because you're not about Kishrin doesn't mean this guy isn't.
This is true, but I don't know, Monty.
Why can't you disagree with the question?
I disagree with
That's
the answer.
the Rav saying the facts on the ground. He's going to have Hana.
Yes.
Mamish
Yes,
Hana
you're
Darai.
saying no, he's not. You know, you could.
There's no Targum alarm with matter certain.
He knows that he's going to have enough. Yeah, I want to tell you something. I would like to share with you something. Okay, I'm going to blow some steam right now. There are people who say that the girls on the bus can sing because the bus driver is Torah b'malach. They can't hear them singing. So I have a question on those people. So why does a bus driver have the radio on?
You don't have to hear the noise in the back.
Okay.
So it doesn't fall
Yes,
asleep.
why do you have the radio on? You don't listen to the radio when you're driving?
Oh yeah, I do.
So how could you say Torah b'malachta? This answer is Torah b'malachta as far as I'm concerned. It's not even a spoof. You understand? It's ridiculous. He's not Torah b'malachta.
Okay.
Can't you say mitzvah?
And a gynecologist is?
What?
And a gynecologist is?
Perhaps. I don't know. I never was a gynecologist. I can't answer that question. But I do know that I know how to drive.
I don't know what's the radio.
And I don't see that it really does much to keep your mind off the radio. Your mind is more on the radio than it is on the road, unfortunately.
Yes.
So,
I've seen the driver in front of me do that.
what?
No.
You should listen to a better program.
No,
You should see the guy in front of you. The guy in front of you, when he starts going like this,
disagree
it
with
means
that.
he's on his
What?
something.
I disagree with that. You are driving and by listening to music, you're not even if
Excuse
you're not,
me.
you're concentrating on your.
Don't
on
tell
your,
me what to listen to. I'm listening to the news. I'm listening to a talk show, and you come home and your wife says, "So what did they say?" And then you repeat verbatim everything that happened.
I wouldn't want to drive with you.
What?
Not with the rough.
Okay.
In particular. But that's such a
This doesn't happen.
No, you can't repeat it afterwards.
Oh, you can't read-
You can't repeat it when you hear it. So,
No, when you hear it, just.
I would like to.
understand.
I would just like to quote a rabbi from Flatbush. In my opinion, it's mutter to listen to Jewish music in the 3 weeks and the 9 days, and not listen to the talk show. Because listening to the talk show is an issur d'oraisa, listening to music is only issur d'rabbanan. Okay. Anyways,
Which is the rest of it.
I was Arias. Mamish. Well, when you listen to the news, listen to what's going on. Hashem Yerachim.
Now,
All right.
The woman drowning, whilst that's the case of mitzvah Bobby Aveva, he's got an Aveva, he's getting Hana, but he's also got the mitzvah to save him, like we see in certain cases you can do,
So mitzvah b'avera is usher.
but like with the other cases when it's mutter, like Yale and Sisera, right?
Avera l'shma. This is an avera l'tzarech avera, not an avera to save Klal Yisrael.
One person is like considered like
You're not doing it to save Klal Yisrael. This is a good question. Okay? Now, Moshe Feinstein's answer to this question is that it's a good question, but it doesn't make a difference. Because being that you're allowed to save her, the fact that you're getting Hano is no different than getting a fish.
That's a good answer.
Thank you. I wish name was Feinstein, but it's
I
not.
agree with him. He was a great rogue, okay? I mean,
so he doesn't get any Aveva for the Hana
None.
he gets.
None.
לא יודע בדיוק למה, זה לא אותו דבר. I can't explain to you yet why. It's going to take me a little while to figure out. That's a little.
Okay.
Anyways.
Anyways. You can. But
No,
it's
I
wrong.
can't.
No, but no. It's, this shows the right the tokef of this svara. He says that it's mugdar and halacha is a ma'isa hatzola, and it's 100% mutter. Now, what he does say, he says you do anything more than the hatzola demands, so then you get slammed.
Okay, correct.
So then a person's going to say, that they're not a Chasid Shoteh, then you're baltaiva. That's not a Chasid Shoteh. But the Chasid is a Shoteh because it's 100% mutter even to have that hano. And if I would say it in a more civil way, this would be called Habnasha Bala Adam Bal Korchoi. Even if he wants it, but still Bal Korchoi. No, as the Chasid would say, I'd rather not do this whole thing and get stuck with this hana, right?
You prefer not, yeah.
Yeah, I'd skip the whole deal.
That's why he's a shaydik. You don't have that option here. That's the point of it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying the concept, how it could be understood. But actually, that's a fascinating idea. The bottom line is the fact that you have other benefits involved, that you're having your sada taken care of, doesn't diminish in the smallest the positive things that you're doing. Each one stands, it stands exclusively alone enough to be matter you, and the other things can come along for the ride. That's basically what Shlomo Zalman says. Now, I will say that, what?
Let's suppose a man sees a kotel, a
A
Jewish
kotel.
girl who's not sort of so modestly dressed, and he thinks he's going to save a neshama. He goes over to her and starts to do mekareiv. He persuades her to keep mitzvahs, keep Shabbos, and so on. But he gets hanat. That would not be heter for that, would it?
No.
We would say saving a soul is like even more than saving a body.
I could answer this question at so many levels. It's very difficult for me to feel like a kid in a candy store. So, but I would just like to say, the Isser is Vadai, and the Heter is a suffix. You know what? There's an old lady also needs kiruv. Start there.
This actually happened with someone I know. Unfortunately, he's no longer live with us, and he tried to do such a
Married
thing.
her.
And he did get to become religious, and he ended up marrying her, but it didn't quite work out as he expected. That's another story. It just happened.
It worked out as I expected. When it's rotten from the beginning, it's rotten in the end. It's basically. Anyways, but that's, you understand, that's not the same thing. Over here, I'm forced into a situation.
But there's a suffix as well, isn't it? If a woman's drowning, maybe it's a very strong current. He knows that Vadai that he's going to be able to save her. It's like an excellent swimmer.
Or, what's an or? What's our other option?
Well, the other
not
option
getting
is-
that known, she dies.
His life comes first, doesn't it? If he's not
I'd like to share with you a thought. This is a Torah philosophical thought, and I found somebody who actually says it afterwards. What I'm telling you right now is against the Pashat halacha, but to me it's a Doa Pashat. This is the same. I even found the source. I unfortunately don't remember the source. I come to you, and I say, I'm collecting for this poor person, and I give you this whole sob story about this person, and I really move you, and you stick your hand into your wallet, you're about to give me some money. They say, 1 second, Rabbi Zachariash, my next door neighbor has that exact same situation. And the halacha is, your neighbor comes first. I'm sorry, I can't give it to you. Who should you give the money to? I'm going to tell you right now, You know what Rabbi Zachariash is going to say. Give it to me. That's what I'm going to say. And I'm going to explain why you should give it to me. All right? I am your Yetzer Tov. I came here to get you to do a mitzvah. Remember that. Rabbi Zachariash is the Yetzer Tov. Okay? What made your neighbor pop up?
Well, what I've said, yeah.
Your Yetzer Hara.
Because you're never going to end up giving it to mom.
No, you weren't. This is an excuse. What happened? Let's be honest. What
I
happened?
couldn't get rid of the money I was about to give. It was knowing get me the money.
I lost. I don't understand the
I
words.
couldn't give the money,
So I'm looking for, my Yetzer Hara says,
poor guy.
you were confronted with a mitzvah, and now you're, perhaps we could turn it into a diversion and do something else. That's coming from the Yetzer Hara. 99% of the time. So better take a demotion in the mitzvah and stay on the Yetzer Tov side than to go to the Yetzer Hara side and do a bigger mitzvah.
Again, in the case of this Chasid jumping in, he knows for certain he's going to be able to save the lady. That's the situation.
Irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant. It's totally irrelevant. That's what Kuach Nefesh. I don't have to go get out solid call. So I say, what is the statistical chance it'll save the person's life?
No, for example, if I personally was in that situation, I would not jump into the river to save her because I don't know how to swim.
That's good. I'd have to have somebody save two people, right?
Yes, exactly. So I'm saying, I want to say, it has to be where he...
You don't have a suffix.
Yeah, that's not that's the good story.
All right. Anyways, let's go right there. Anyways, fine.
No.
Where are we? Yud Beis. Ein maslin ilonos v'lo mezamnim anatios avol sochel ilon aperes b'shemen. You're not allowed to do things that are going to be that are a big tircha in order to take care of pesticides, etc. But if it's something which is minor, you're allowed to do that. Let's just see this thing. The mezamin is these are different things that are done to trees. We don't know most of them what they are. The Mishnah Berurah will just do Lamed Zayin, Reshem and Hainu Shekatu Nofo Kodem Hamoed. They cut them off, and you'll see this when a person cuts off a branch of a tree. Depending on the season, it oozes out liquid. That liquid is the sap of the tree, and what that is like an open cut. Just like a person has an open cut, you usually have to put some antibacterial cream on it or something like that, or you can get an infection. So to a tree, when it has a open cut, is chasuf to dying, and yes, and there's stuff that you put on it that
Bandage.
a barrier. It's what is it? Keeps it clean. A barrier from the exterior negative forces that are there.
Shemen, perhaps?
What?
Shemen, perhaps?
Yeah, that was used for shemen, but in Yerushalayim they put this blue stuff on it. They have whatever. This is Anyways, these are things to keep them going. So those things are permissible because it's not a big deal to do it. Okay, now next sif is a long sif. I don't know. All right, maybe we'll stop over here. Okay.